I'll just try and stay on top of these videos and keep doing them. Just helps me, I think. I'm in a different car today. It's car seat present off my neighbour. It's nice to be nice to people. Thing is, I've noticed when you're nice to someone, it creates a snowball effect. It's nice to be nice, and then if you're nice to someone, they're nice to someone else. I've just seen it then. I already knew that this was the case, but there was, I let someone out, and then obviously they were in front of me, and then they let someone out. And it's cool like that. But it goes both ways. If you're what might be described as narcissistic or selfish or self-serving or mean or whatever, then that person then will go and do that. And look, there is definitely a thing of like this, the oneness, the karma, the both sides, like one side's black, one side's white. You can't have one without the other. But I'm pretty sure because we have sort of that, we do have free choice within that to a certain extent, that we could actually all create the karma when it's all white or the majority is white. I think you get that through, the best way of getting that is through Christianity, because Christianity is very much about forgiveness, as far as I can tell, and as far as I've researched the other ones. I don't believe in picking sides, though. I think everyone should think for themselves and take the bits from each religion that they think fits best themselves, but also then be very understanding of other people and not try and force. Problem is that the extreme of Islam and the extreme of Christianity are very, very different. But if everyone was just not extreme, but that's not because Islam's bad, that's because bigotry is bad. So it's like Hitler focused on the Jews, people focus on the Muslims, or the extremists, terrorists, whatever they want to call them. Where actually the problem wasn't, well, the problem isn't, you have to go back. It's short-sighted to just go, oh, it's like when something bad happens in your life, it's like that person did that and then they're bad, or like throw them in jail, or I don't know, whatever the situation is, but it's like, why did the person get to that point? So you can drill down and back on everything. So, you know, it's not as simple as, it's not as black and white as, there's more to it. It's not extreme Muslims that are the problem. It's, go back with it, drill back, think for yourselves. I don't want to give you all the answers. Plus, I lost my trail of thought halfway through it. What was I saying then? What was the point I was trying to make? That's so funny. Just give it up. The point I was trying to make, that bigotry, selfishness, money's not the root of all evil, greed is. That's what I'm trying to get at. So if there are people that are very rich and they hurt people, for example, then it's not money that's the problem, it's greed that's the problem. And what's greed? It's a sin. Sin's the devil. You can work it all back and get to Saint Lucifer. He's a saint. You can work it all back. It's not everything bad that happens, work it back, and it always ends up with good against bad. Star Wars archetypes, that's where it all comes from, isn't it? Harry Potter. So yeah, saw my kid today. That was nice. Very nice. It's a lot with the dogs and house renovation on my own, but and setting up businesses, hence the other car, Warrington Car Hire. Might change that to Wire Car Hire. Sounds better, doesn't it? So what if I was going to give you a life tip for today? What would it be? What have I been thinking about today? Diet, consistency. I realised the hard way, well, being lazy and stuff, and then David Gogginsing your way out of a rut is a fantastic way of drawing yourself out of a rut. David Goggins is a fantastic motivator for pulling yourself out of a rut. However, if you don't have a support network around you, like Ashley Kane, that Ashley Kane guy, I've met him a few times at uni because he's a friend of a friend, and I can hear my dog's barking. But I reached out to my friend and said, look, Ashley Kay needs to be careful because I learned the hard way that pushing too hard for too long, your body just breaks down. And he said, oh, don't worry, Ashley's got a good support network around him. And David Goggins may or may not, but David Goggins is amazing for getting you out of a rut, but consistency is what gets you to the top of anything. 10 minutes a day and you're ahead of something like 90% of people on planet Earth. 10 minutes a day for a year, you've done more than a ridiculous. I can't remember what the statistic is, but it's ridiculous. So my advice is consistency on anything. Mine's now gone diet, because every time I do an extreme fast, there's always a bounce back, and then I binge again. So everything in life is about consistency. Don't be this get rich quick mindset. Don't let it. Don't go with it. Be consistent. Have multiple things that you work consistently on, and in 10 years' time, you'll be an absolute world changer, world beater. And I hope that I'm able to prove that, get that message across. Just takes time, and you'll feel people won't take you seriously. We live in a society where unless you've done something, no one listens, and I guess that's capitalism or whatever, but it's also not right. Also, private number plates. Don't know how I feel about them. And we definitely live in mass narcissism. But tip of the day is to be consistent. And if you do something regularly, 10 minutes a day or whatever, for a year, you're ahead of a stupid amount of people in the world. So be consistent, doing your shit. Try not to drink. And if you do, don't do it all the time, because you get really fat and sad. But yeah, peace out. Well, no, what did I say? What did I say? Goodbye, internet.